No, hold on, slow down right here. So we're now in downtown Suffolk in the housing area. And as you can see, there's some houses that are being redeveloped. There are also houses that have already been developed. A lot of these a lot of the homes that are out here are single and multi-family homes. But as you can see, they're getting ready, they're in the process of redeveloping some of these homes. They have the Jefferson's Manor apartment complex. The apartment complex, just from the looks of it, it looks like it's been around for a while. I don't know how it's being used, but this is also a space that some of the community members actually gather around at different times of the night. So this is also can be considered a gathering space. You have more houses over on the left side, more housing development. So in the downtown area, somebody, or whether it may have been neighbors or it may have been just people within the community who work in the community, you can see that somebody's getting the word out that it needs to be some redevelopment in these areas. The housing infrastructures, they look like they're pretty old infrastructures.
Yeah, pretty much.
The development of the newer houses, they seem to be expanding these houses as well.
Yeah, and most of these houses are probably old, like within the 1970, 60 era maybe.
This looks like an area for redevelopment. Thus far, since we've been in the neighborhood, we have not seen any playgrounds for kids. So I'm not sure if there's any area. You can go a little faster. If there's any areas for kids, but from the looks of it, the only places that the kids have to play is in the confines of where they live at. As we get further down the street, you see more houses on the left side that are a little more undeveloped than the houses on the right. More houses on the right that are boarded up. So you have field space. This could be a space for kids to gather. Hey, how you doing? You have community members sitting on the porch. So downtown Suffolk, more redevelopment.
More development right there.
Abandoned house to your left.
Yeah.
So somebody's getting the word out there that, this area needs to be redeveloped. Now, this particular area in downtown Suffolk does have a rec center. They actually have two rec centers that are 4 streets apart from each other, that are in the downtown area. So those are areas where children can gather. I don't know if they're they're community resource for sure, but as far as the benefits or what the rec center does for the community, that's what we're gonna find out. Now we're approaching Washington Street. And Washington Street has insurance agencies. They have the Morgan Library. City Hall is on Washington Street. And the neighborhood that is under development is right behind where City Hall is located. The Department of Probation and Parole are also on Washington Street. Businesses that are on Washington Street, that are in the area of the probation and parole, are fully developed. There's auto glass storefronts. There's graphic hair salons. Also, it looks like it's an abandoned building, but I believe this building is going to be redeveloped into something for Suffolk. It looks like Suffolk Parks and Recs are in control of that building. These peanuts and These infrastructures are, some of them are a little bit old, some of them are a little bit more newer. But as we're approaching East Washington Street, things get to look a little different. You start seeing a lot more buildings that are not as developed. A lot of buildings look a lot older than they do around adult probation and parole. It's Saratoga Street, right?
This is downtown Suffolk too.
Yeah, it's downtown, man.
Downtown Suffolk. Right?
And we're on East Washington Street. The development in the Suffolk area. You have businesses, all type of businesses in the downtown area. You have barber shops. You have fashion stores. You have property groups. Clothing stores.
Fashion design.
There's a lot of different restaurants that is in the downtown area. On the left, we're approaching the school board building, which is also downtown, as well as the courthouse. The professional building has been around for quite some time. You have the banks that are downtown. A lot of historic infrastructure is downtown. You can tell there are businesses that are being developed downtown as well. You have commercial businesses. You have a lot of restaurants. You also have Suffolk Christian Fellowship, which is the fellowship asset in the community that provides clothing, that do food drives, as well as soup kitchens. They also assist with soup kitchens. There are some mental health agencies that are actually downtown too. Blakey Weaver Counseling Center is downtown. That's an asset in the community where individuals are able to go into the mental health agency on Wednesdays and get free sessions. So that's a really big privilege to the community, and you don't have to have insurance. You have driving schools. You start to see there's a warehouse building it looks like it's for sale. These buildings are for sale, or maybe it's just a winter sale. You have businesses that are vacant, so that means there's more room for opportunity, more room for employment.
It's a police precinct right here.
Police precinct? I can't see from your side. Look left.
This is also where.
Oh, this man's tripping. It's also another gathering place. It's a corner store on East Washington Street and Bank Street.
So they gather at.
It's a gathering space. There's another vacant building that's not being used, so there's more opportunity for business and employment.
House right there.
Yeah, houses that are underdeveloped, that are vacant.
Yeah.
Vacant homes means more people can actually have access to housing. Man, so many opportunities for housing in the area.
It's a lot of improvements that can happen out here in the community to help the people and the citizens of Suffolk. I gotta turn right here.
There's a lot of vacant houses. A lot of vacant houses. How you doing? Need for redevelopment. But Suffolk's coming up though. Doesn't look like it's being utilized for anything. There's more development. I just see more and more employment opportunities. Over to our left, we have the Salvation Army. The Salvation Army, yep. let's come back past that, and we can actually get a better picture. The Salvation Army is at the end of East Washington Street. Salvation Army is another community asset where community members can go for assistance, they can go for support.
Yeah.
Clothes, adult programs, nutritional programs.
Physical health and education center.
There's a lot of
there's a lot of room for growth out here.
It's a ton of room for growth. A ton of room for opportunities, housing, and employment. Those are some of the major components that people need nowadays.
Definitely.
But
those things are essential.
We gotta go to the rec center too.
Yeah, I know. So we're going in a minute. I'm just trying to see. First playground we've seen.
The first playground that we've seen in downtown. And I think this playground is actually owned by the Salvation Army. Hey, how you doing, buddy? So, yeah, people are thinking that we the police out here with the windshield survey camera. Now, on this side of this street, or on this side of East Washington Street, these houses are more developed. You can tell that these houses have been changed and modified from the all brick infrastructure to now they're moving to like more family style housing. Houses are pretty close together. Not too much backyard space, but again, there's not too many gathering places for kids. You have a church that's out here, but there's more abandoned houses. More abandoned houses that can be redeveloped. There's actually a church that looks like it's being built. Make it left.
Make it left?
Yeah.
They think we the cops out here, dog.
Older style housing, older model housing.
Yeah.
Well, see, on Penn Street, houses look a lot more developed.
If you notice, these streets are on the main roads.
Yeah.
To make it look like it's more developed, but it's really not on the inside of the community.
The inside of the community is where the development needs to happen.
They look like, that's a newer style right there.
These are the newer style housings that I can't make the safe assumption, but I believe that they're gonna develop more houses to looking that way. Make it right on this street. We're getting ready to make a right on Bank Street. Bank Street, when you first make the right on Bank Street, you'll see houses that are vacant and not as developed, especially on the left side. Then on the right side, you see houses that are more developed. So it seems like, and these are more historic buildings that are never going to be manipulated or moved. They're just going to be redeveloped, and it almost looks like they're forcing the neighbors out of that community. You have the Suffolk Nasman Historical Society to your left. You have more developed housing. You have the historic building to your left. You have the Blakey Weaver Psychosocial Center.
Yeah. Should probably turn right there. this is still a police precinct right here.
No, this is not a precinct. This is the court.
Oh, it's a court right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not the precinct. Yeah, you're right.
Directly in front of us, to the left, this building right here that I'm pointing at, well, actually right here, is the Virginia Career Works Suffolk Center, where they have employment opportunities. You're able to go in there and get your CDLs. You're able to go in and find housing. This is Suffolk Workforce Development Center right here. Virginia Pilot. There's employment opportunities out here, but you also see areas where there's vacancies, businesses. That means more money comes into the city.